Yes. Are you a black man? Are you an African? If you are, then you need to listen to this because it's going to do you a whole lot of good, particularly our younger generation. Yes. So I want to tell you that no matter where you come from, for as long as you are a black man, you are an African. No matter where you come from, as long as you are a black man, you're an African. You might come from Trinidad. You might come from Tobago. You might come from West Poland. You are an African. Yes. So the problem we are having today is the problem of, you know, colonial mentality. Yes. The colonial mentality. Okay. Which is, an orchestrated plan by the Europeans to subdue us, to subjugate the African man, okay? To, you know, come and plunder that which belongs to us, the Africans, okay? And to rule over us. And they succeeded in doing that, okay? By taking us into slavery, okay? Yes. But the painful aspect is that after the abolition of the slave trade, a whole lot of us still carry that colonial mentality. And you see, yeah, it is we cannot really, blame a whole lot of us, okay, for that. Because it was also part of the plan, okay, of the Europeans. So that was why when they decided to abolish the slave trade, okay, they now, planned, orchestrated another means, another way of continuing keeping us in perpetual slavery. Okay, so that was why before they gave most of African countries independence, they were forced to sign treaties with them. They were forced to sign agreements with them, telling them, see, now we're going to be giving you independence, but on certain conditions. On certain conditions. And the conditions were set out for them. Particularly, the French countries, theirs were even worse. But it happens to across board to every part of the African continent. Okay, so this agreements were drafted for our leaders then. Okay, those who were championing the decolonization, who were championing the independence for us. They were given these agreements to sign. And I want to believe that most of these people signed these documents, not that they did not know what they were getting into or what all the clauses, in that agreement actually meant or stand for. Okay. But I want to think that some of them just felt or thought that the most important thing is that let's have the independence. Let's sign it for them. And then let them give us the independence. After giving us the independence, we will now know what to do thereafter. So the most important thing to them that was in their mind, what was uppermost in their mind then, was to get the independence. So they feel they can just sign anything, okay, in order to get independent. Then after getting independence, maybe that is when they will now start to show, okay, their real independence or their superiority or whom they really are, and that they will no longer be subordinate to them and things like that. Okay, so they thought that it would just be, that easy. It will be like a walk on the park to them. So they just, close their eyes and sign. But unfortunately for these people, for this our, black leaders, unfortunately for them, they never knew that these people, these Europeans and the Americans, and whoever they were, the Portuguese and all of them, okay, who were, neck deep in this slave trade thing, who now want to give independence to us. You know that all of them, they were a cartel, they were working together. And all of them knew what they were doing. And they knew that after signing these documents, there's nobody who will, among the Africans, who will be able to, disagree or who will refuse to follow or to obey whatever they have signed. Because whoever one that does, the rest of them will come together, will work as a force, as yes, as a force, okay, to make sure that they make life unbearable. Let me put it that way. For these African countries, whoever that will refuse to obey the treaty, okay, or the agreement they have signed. And that is what is playing out today in the United Nations, in the World Bank, in International Monetary Fund, in all the international organizations. So this international organization, they are really set up to monitor the Africans, to make sure that the Africans obey the treaty or the agreement that they have signed. And that is what all of them are out there for. And that is why it is difficult for any African nation or country or people or kingdom to, do what they like to do without obeying, without following what they have signed. Because if they refuse to do that, all these international organizations, they will be against them. And they will make life difficult for them. And the worst of it all, they can even decide to cause, anarchy. Yes, they can cause problem, trouble in that country. And they will bring war to that country. And that is what has been happening. Those are the kind of things that happen in Libya. Yes, in other countries, Malaysia, or I mean, no, not I'm coming. So some of these countries, like Libya particularly, yes, and most of other African countries where you see, they cause problem and war and things like that. Yes, it also happened in Uganda in the days of Idi Amin, when Idi Amin tried to expel all the whites, to expel that of the country, the Indians and all of that. They connived to make sure that they, remove Idi Amin. Okay, yes. So and so many others like that, like Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba in Congo. It happened. Yes, in we are here around West Africa here now also. What's his name now? Okay, yes, it happens. Where this guy is, Traore, the guy before, yes, it happens there. It happens everywhere. So if you refuse to follow, they make life unbearable. And they have been doing that. But the question is, for how long? For how long? Yes. We'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. So the thing about us First of all, let's talk about us. We, the African, the black race. What are we doing? Are we continuing, with this colonial mentality, this, you know, mental slavery? Do we continue to subjugate ourselves to this mental slavery? Huh? Must we continue to, subject ourselves to this mental slavery? Huh? So those are the questions. And we must have to do something. And that is one of the things that is informing my video. Yes, as a Pan-Africanist, as one who so much believes in Africanism, yes, I don't have the privilege or the opportunity to do it better than I am doing that. But posterity will judge me. Yes, that I did something. I said something. Yes, posterity must be kind to me in whichever, level I'm able to do it. Okay? So the thing is, our Africans, why is it that we just anything African, we don't want to, like it, we don't want to support it, we don't want to promote it. We are just, you know, fulfilling the scripts of the whites, of the Europeans. We are trying to, act their scripts. Okay? That is what it means. That's what, it seems to me. Particularly, like I've always been saying, our younger generations, okay, who to them, they don't want to hear anything Africa. To them, they feel anything Africa is inferior. Anything, even up to our African, you know, tradition. Yes, they don't want to see or hear anything about it. To our African customs, our customs and tradition, even African names. They prefer, European names, Jewish names, Arabic names, rather than the African names, rather than African way of life. They prefer the Western way of life, rather than the African way of life, rather than African things. How long are we going to emancipate ourselves from this colonial mentality? How long is it going to take us to emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery that we put ourselves? Eh? You see, the thing is that the good thing is that it's not that the emancipation will not come. It will come. Definitely it will come when it will come. But how long will it come? What price is left for us to be paid for us to get ourselves as Africans? A whole lot of people have, given up their life, wasted their lives on this project called Africa. A whole lot of our prophets has been killed, has been murdered by this white supremacy. But all those are nothing. It's just part of it. Like one of our, legend also said, it's all part of it. So we are not surprised. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. In fact, those are the things that motivates people like us. Yes. So it's all part of it. There are prices to be paid. Okay? But if we must pay the price, we must know that yes, this is what we are paying the price for. We must guide and protect that which we are paying price for. Okay? Yes. Not building on one side and then pulling down on the other side. Okay? I know that the whites, they have, you know, plans, strategies, okay, that they put in place and they continue renewing, they continue working on it day in and day out. But I'm coming to them. I'm coming to them. First of all, we need to, they say charity begins at home. So let's settle, you know, we, the black race, the black brothers, let's settle it among ourselves, first of all, before we get to those people. Right? Yes. So that's why it pains me when some of us, like I will always say, the younger generations, that's what it pains my heart when they begin to live their life, they begin to tailor their life towards the whites rather than towards the black. Okay? I know, you see, what is happening, and part of their agenda really is to make sure that in some, you know, distant future from now or some time from now, okay, a whole lot of our tradition and customs and names and languages and things like that will have been, gone. Yes. Like will have been, um, you know, I mean, forgotten. Yes. So those are their plans. So we must not allow this to happen. We must not allow this to happen. Because you see, a whole lot of us, the black people, okay, the Africans, the Nigerians, a lot of them, when they have the opportunity of going abroad, of relocating, okay, abroad to the Western world, they never think or have the mind of coming back to Africa or to Nigeria again. They just want to remain there. A lot of them, when they go there, they get married there. If possible, they have intermarry, with the white, and have their children, and they never direct the attention of their children back home. They feel that no, the suffering in Africa is too much. The problems in Africa is too much. You want them to stay back here in the Western world. Yes, they want them to stay back in the Western world, okay, to enjoy good life. It's all right, okay, it's all right, but you are now selling your identity. You are selling your identity, throwing away your identity, okay, for another race, for another people. I know to some people, what I'm saying might not really make any, meaning to them because they already been sold out. Okay, but by the time we finish this series, by the time we get, or by the time we go on in this series, you get to know what you are causing to yourself, to your children, to your generation, to your people. You'll get to know. Thank you for being there. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share, don't forget to like. Okay, let it go wild. Okay, by so doing, gradually we'll get ourselves back, and that is the purpose. Okay, that is the goal for this video. Thank you for being there. Amen.